Hello, my friends. I hope all of you are doing well. I hope you and your family are safe. I want to thank you for taking some time out of your day to spend with me. We're talking about leadership. We're talking about leading through adversity. I've been leading and developing teams and growing businesses for a very long time. I have a lot of scars from the mistakes that I've made and the things that I've been through. And I thought during this time I could share with you just some of my experiences, hoping that some of my mistakes and the things that I've learned from my own businesses growing those and from other leaders in history, I want to pass those on to you, and I hope those add value to you. So we've been talking about leading through adversity. And I share with you every time just my strong belief that leaders change the world. I believe that leaders make an incredible difference. You have an unbelievable amount of pressure on you, and the concern you have for your teams, your people, your business, payroll, finances, and crises like this, it just adds so much more pressure to our shoulders. So I'm hoping that my words to you will just lift you up and give you some strength and hope to continue to lead well. So leaders change the world. We've been talking about leading through adversity because we're going to get through this. And this is episode 5, I believe, of this series. Let me just review the first ones quickly. If you haven't seen those, they're on our YouTube channel. Your Leader's Edge is our YouTube channel. You can go to that and look at the other videos. Episode 1, leaders show up, give perspective and prioritize focus. Episode 2, leaders provide traction during distraction. Leaders connect well, leaders adapt to change. Episode 3, make people your highest priority. Make your mindset your greatest craft. Make impact your highest aim. By the way, we're going to be talking about mindset again today. Episode 4, everything of value is uphill. There's always an answer, and allow adversity to help you discover your best self. So that episode and today and tomorrow are part of a series within a series. I'm giving you 11 things on perspective. 11 things on perspective. Yesterday was the first 3. Today I'm going to give you 4 more, and tomorrow 4 more after that. So let's jump into this, leading through adversity, and 4 more principles on perspective. So this is going to be number 4. Number 4, after yesterday's 3, number 4 is develop a positive mindset lifestyle. So 2 days ago, I talked about positive mindset, and I got people asking me about positive mindset. Well, I want to make sure that we understand I'm not just talking about a glass half full approach to a certain situation. I'm talking about a lifestyle that looks for the positive thing, a mindset, an entire mindset shift of looking for, finding, and expecting positive things. I told you a couple days ago, how you view things is how you do things. I'm going to say it again. How you view things, that's your mindset, that's your worldview. How you view things is how you do things. A few years ago, I told you that I like to read about leaders. I like to learn from them. A few years ago, I read Viktor Frankl's book, Man's Search for Meaning, probably 10 years ago by now. If you're not familiar with his work, he was a prisoner of war in Auschwitz and 2 other prison camps, death camps. And the Germans took him and his entire family. He was a psychologist. He lost his whole family in the death camps. He lost his wife. He lost his kids. Every extended family member. He lost him. He lost his business. He lost his fortune. Most of all, what's incredible about the Nazi death camps is, as you know, they take a person's name and they replace it with a number that they tattoo on their forearm. When you take away a person's name, you take away their identity, or you try to. You just replace it with a number that's dehumanizing and depersonalizing. It's devaluing. And I read through his book, and it's Man's Search for Meaning. He was trying to find what that all meant and how he could make the best use of it. It's an incredible book. As I was thinking through that book recently, I realized there's 4 things that I learned from his book and his life that I want to pass on to you. 4 things underneath develop a positive mindset lifestyle. Number 1, that I learned from Viktor Frankl. Our surroundings need not control our spirit. Our surroundings need not control our spirit. We're in a tough situation right now. There's all kinds of stuff out there, fear and mayhem, and the sky is falling. And listen, our surroundings do not have to control how we feel in our spirit and our outlook. Second thing I learned from Viktor Frankl, people who devalue you do not set your value. Listen to that again. People who devalue you, and I know it's happened. What's happened to you, it's happened to me. People who devalue you do not set your value. Third thing I learned from Viktor Frankl, dreams can be birthed in dark places. This might be a dark time for you. Maybe someone you know is sick. Maybe you've gotten sick. Maybe the family is struggling financially and not sure how to pay the rent. This is a time where dreams can be birthed in dark places. Believe it. The fourth thing I learned from Viktor Frankl is that out of darkness, we can learn to shine. Out of dark places, we can learn to shine. So that's a mindset, right? That's how we see things, even the worst. I can't imagine anything worse than the Auschwitz death camps. And even in that place, he was able to discover great meaning. Here are some things that I've learned that have helped me build a positive mindset, things that I've learned that I want to pass on to you. Life is filled with good and bad. That's a duh. Life is filled with good and bad. This is a bad. No, we don't want this. We can't wait till it's done. But it's life. Life is filled with good and bad. I can't control most of it, the good or the bad. Most of the good or the bad is outside of my control. Listen to this. Some good things find me and some bad things find me. I've had plenty of bad in my life and I've had an amazing amount of good. There's a scripture in the Bible that says, the rain falls on the just and the unjust alike. Good and bad often don't discriminate. Good finds you, bad finds you. Here we go with mindset. Both good and bad become better with a positive mindset. Good things with a positive mindset, they become even better. They're magnified, they're amplified with a positive mindset. Bad things are made better with a positive mindset. We see perspective, we see history, we recognize we're going to get through this. So even the bad things, they're made just a little bit, they're still bad, they're made a little bit better. So both bad things and good things are made better with a positive mindset. Here's the opposite, and you know people like this. Bad things and good things are made worse with a negative mindset. Bad things are made worse. They're made better. Good things are just made, it's not that great. I believe there are some people who complain about winning the lottery because they had to pay taxes. I believe there are people like that. Here's the kicker. Here's the final one. So I choose positive. I, H.R. Huntsman, choose positive because here's what I know. It is in my benefit to do so. I'm a pragmatic person. The reason I choose positive is I know it's in my favor to choose positive. I've taught this for years. I think one of the greatest gifts that God gives us is the gift of choice. I get to choose how I face bad and good. And I know if I choose bad, it's going to actually make my life worse. I don't want to make my life harder than it already is. So I choose positive because I know it's going to help me get better. Choose positive. All right. Develop a positive mindset lifestyle. Number 5, the fifth principle of perspective is this. Feed your faith and starve your fear. Feed your faith and starve your fear. So I've been backpacking since I was just a young teenage boy, even pre-teens. Started backpacking at a young age. And you go out in the woods, and when you're out in the woods with other boys, I can tell you all kinds of stories about crazy fears. I won't bore you to death, but I have many stories about amplified fears. I'm going to tell you one. This when I was backpacking, I was an adult. I was married. I was backpacking by myself in the Three Sisters Wilderness outside of Eugene, Oregon. I was up in the high alpine mountains by a great lake, and the first or the second night that I was there, I think I was there for 3 or 4 nights. One of the nights I was there, I heard a rustling outside. In the dark, I was in my tent, rustling outside, loud, right outside camp. Of course, any rustling outside in the woods by yourself is obviously what is it? It's always a bear. We always think it's a bear. So I hear this, my heart starts beating. I grab my knife, I had a big old Rambo knife at the time. Grab my knife, the bear comes through the tent, I'm going to kill it. Rustling, and I can't see anything. It's dark outside. So it goes away. I try to go to sleep. All through the night, I'm thinking about this bear coming in and mauling me. Get up, wake up the next morning to more rustling out in my camp. And I hear this large animal messing with all my pots and pans. I grab my knife again, and I'm finally able to pull the tent down enough where I can look through the nylon underneath the fly, and I see the culprit, and it's just two little blue jays picking at my aluminum pans. I thought it was a bear. Well, that's because I fed that fear. Now, since then, I've been in the woods hundreds of nights. And I notice when I take anyone in the woods and there's any kind of sound, it's always a bear. Well, feed your faith, starve your fears. There's a famous story about a father talking to his son about this issue. And he says, son, inside of you there are two dogs fighting. One dog is faith, it's the good things in life, the positive things in life. One dog is fear, and every day they're going to go at it, and they're going to clash, and they're going to fight. And the little boy looks up to dad and says, Daddy, which dog wins? And the daddy says, whichever one you feed. So listen, we're all afraid. I'm afraid. I have a level of anxiety about this. You're afraid. A lot of people are afraid. I'm not going to let fear win. It's real. It's there. I'm not going to let it win. How are you feeding your faith? The dog that you feed is going to win the day. Feed your faith by focusing on the positive things, affirming family, the good things in your life, recounting all your blessings, expressing gratitude. Feed your faith. Look for the amazing good things in life. Focus on what you can control and what is good. Feed your faith. Starve your fears. Okay, number 3. This is a really important one. I could spend an entire lesson on this one. Realize that motion affects emotion. Realize that motion, movement, doing affects emotion, feeling. So Dr. George Crane, he wrote a landmark book of psychology called Applied Psychology back in the early 60s, I believe it was. And it became one of the standardized textbooks for colleges for 15, 20 years. And applied psychology means psychology that works in real life. And really good stuff in here. I want you to listen to a couple of things that I picked up from him. Motions are the precursors of emotions. Motions are the precursors of emotion. As a counselor and as a coach, I've taught this for years based on that. It's very hard to feel your way into doing. I'll go to the gym when I feel like it. Probably not. I'll start working out when I feel like it. Probably not. It's hard to feel your way into doing. It's easier to do your way into feeling. You do it, and then the emotions come. So motion affects emotion. I picked up a statement from him. He's a statement I've used this for many, many years now. If I feel blank, then I will do blank. If I feel, then I will do. And the doing, if I feel emotion, then I will do motion. If I feel sad, then I will laugh to counteract the sadness. If I feel depressed, then I will sing. Feeling, motion. Emotion, motion. If I feel insecure, then I will read some affirmations. If I feel defeated, or if I feel fear like we do now, then I'll recount all the times that I've overcome stuff, and you've overcome stuff. If I feel, name that feeling, then I will do some action to counteract that feeling. I took this same principle and I wrote a whole book about it. My second book is called Breakthrough. Shameless plug, by the way. My second book is called Breakthrough, and it's about this concept of taking all these hurts and wounds and terrible thinking and reversing the way we're thinking, just rewiring our brain by acting out new behaviors that train ourselves to think differently. So here it is. Realize that motion affects emotion. Now listen, let's talk about fear. We're all feeling it. I am. You can't get rid of all fear. We have fear because we're human. If anyone tells you amidst all this stuff that they're not afraid at all, they're either lying or they're sociopathic. Everyone's afraid to some degree. I am. I have anxiety about this for my own family. Like you, I'm losing finances over this and clients. I don't know how that's going to affect me in the long run. I don't know. I have a lot of grief and anxiety for my clients. These are my friends, and I care about their businesses. I care about them a lot. I care deeply. These are not just transactions to me. These are human beings. I feel like they're my brothers and sisters. Some are the age of my kids, and I feel toward them like that. So I'm feeling that. I have a daughter she's an RN. She works with COVID patients every day of her life. I have worry about that. I pray for her every day. So I have fear over this. And what am I doing about those emotions? What's my emotion? Well, I'm making these videos for one. These videos aren't just for you. They help me. They're therapeutic to me. They're cathartic to me. I'm reminding myself of powerful principles that I've taught and believed and learned for 20, 25 years. And as I give them to you, I remind them of myself or to myself, and it's healing for me. So my motion in producing these is helping my emotion of fear and worry. So I'd like you to write down, what's the one thing you can do to help you feel? What's the one thing you can begin doing during this time to help you feel it a little bit differently? Master your emotions, and you'll take control of your life. Okay, we're going to wrap up today with this one. This is a big one to me. Number 7 is today matters. So listen to me. We hear people talking all the time about building a life. You don't actually build a life. You build habits, and habits build a life. Think of it this way. Imagine your life is this amazing, beautiful brick palace. And every day you take the brick to put it into the building of your palace. Here's the thing. People aren't handing you the bricks. You're also making the bricks. The brick is today and what you make of today. So not only are you making the bricks of the day, those bricks are becoming the palace of your life. So the habits of today, they really matter. Oftentimes, we hear people talk about like tomorrow as though it's not connected to today. There are too many tomorrows. Tomorrow, I'm going to take that vacation. Tomorrow, I'm going to reconnect with my family. Tomorrow, I'm going to forgive. Tomorrow, there's too many tomorrows. Listen, my friends, today matters. The habits of today matter. I was talking with one of my clients today. We had our coaching call, and I said to him, you look amazingly happy and authentic. And he said, H, I've begun some of the things we've been talking about for a long time. Every morning, I'm now starting with affirmations and reading and thinking through my schedule and working out. And then each night, I'm beginning to plan through the next day. And I said, brother, it's working. I have never seen you so relaxed. And then we talked about the challenges to keep up those daily habits after we get back to normal. Well, I'm praying for all of us for a new normal. Listen, today matters. Begin to see each day as a building block for your future. Don't wait till tomorrow. Every day. So with my clients, oftentimes I'll do this in a consulting setting with big teams or one-on-one. I play what I call the start-stop game. The start-stop game has 5 things to look at. What do I need to stop doing that I am doing right now and it's not working for me? I bet there are things in your life that you need to stop doing. What do I need to do less of? I don't need to cut it out completely, but by doing too much of it, it's robbing me from better things. I need to continue doing these things. These are good things that are working for me. I'm going to keep doing them at the same level. I need to do more of these things. What are the good things that you're doing, but you need to do more of? And then finally, what do you need to start? What are the habits you know you should be doing, you haven't started yet? Stop, do less, continue, do more, start. These are the habits that are going to help you build your life. Okay. Tomorrow we're going to finish the talk on perspective with 4 more principles. I want to close with this. Thank you for spending time with me. We are going to get through this. I promise you we're going to get through this. My hope is that when we get through it, we'll be better on the other side. That we're going to begin putting into practice today some of the things that are going to help us become better people tomorrow. Don't give up. Keep climbing. When you face those fears, replace it with something else. We can do this. I promise you we can do this. I love you all. Now go shine.